when you start asking questions like, what's the point? And you wonder, who am I really? And what am I doing here? That's when you know that you are ready to begin a soul discovery journey. And today's guest is Helen Plehn, who's the founder of Helen Creates Beauty and the award-winning author of the Aura Color Wheel. This Aura Color Wheel is a soul discovery system that helps people identify their life purpose through their soul aura color. Join us to find out more.
Soul Nectar Show, the Soul Nectar Show. You're invited, delighted to discover who you are. Anything is possible if you believe. So join us on this beautiful journey. Soul Nectar Show. Soul Nectar Show.
Well, hello and welcome to another episode of Soul Nectar Show, that show where we talk about all things essence, where we gather around the campfire and we share our stories of connection to that which is greater than us, to the big mystery beyond the veil, to those synchronistic moments that lead us inexorably to a deeper understanding of who we are and what we are doing here on Earth at this time on the planet. And I'm your host, Kerri Hummingbird, and I love having these conversations week after week. And so I welcome you to it, to join us. If this is your first time ever hearing one of these broadcasts, there is 10 years of broadcasts that you can tune into weekly. So lots and lots that you can check out. And today's conversation is going to address something that I've heard coming up in the collective quite a bit recently. And it is this question that is so deep in the heart. What is the point? What is the point? I've heard so many people asking this question. What is the point? And I feel like the answer to that question is going to be covered in this episode, because what I realized when I was facing that question of what is the point, I was at the end of a very long journey of living life the way other people told me I should be living it, living life according to the matrix or the system, living life, following all the rules and climbing the corporate ladder and, having all the material things and, making it look good, to the world, putting the performance on. And really at the end of the day, that led me to this question, what is the point? Especially when things didn't go the way I thought they should go, because well, I did this, so therefore this should have happened for me, and then it doesn't. So now what does that mean? We can get ourselves caught in like repeating patterns like Groundhog Day, where we just keep repeating the same loop over and over and over again, expecting different results, which Einstein says is the definition of insanity. And so we don't want to be insane, but there is a whole lot of psychosis going on, I will say, out there. Lots of psychosis. All of us are experiencing some little bit of psychosis, if not a whole lot of psychosis. And that can lead us to feeling like there's no point. Like, what is the point to do literally anything at all? And I'm here to tell you, we have some answers to that question. And it has to do with self-discovery, and it has to do with sovereignty, and it has to do with your life purpose, your unique path of self-discovery, of awakening to who you are. That is on the other side of this what's the point question. And so today's guest is going to be awesome to bring into this conversation. We have Helen Plehn here with us. Welcome, Helen.
Thank you so much for having me, Kerri.
Yeah, so Helen Plehn is the founder of Helen Creates Beauty and the award-winning author of the Aura Color Wheel, published by Hay House. And she created the Aura Color Wheel, a soul discovery system that helps people identify their life purpose through their soul aura color. That's helpful, right? So Helen also, as you can see, she's an intuitive painter. She's an angel channeler. She's a certified crystal healer, a third generation feng shui master, and a flamenco dancer. That's a whole eclectic, lots of stuff. That's so cool. She's also the host of the Aura Evolution podcast. And her mission is to help 1 million souls discover and live their purpose with joy and fulfillment. And so we're going to put her contact information down below in the show notes. Definitely check that out. But Helen, welcome to the show. I know we had a general idea of where we were going to go, and then it just came to me. Let's answer this question of what's the point? And
Yeah.
if you don't mind, like, how did you, because I know you had that question. So what happened for you when that question happened? How did you find this path?
Yeah, so that was, I would say that was the Helen 1.0, living according to the society or the matrix standards of what success and happiness looks like, right? So I was born and raised in China and moved to the US in my early 20s for higher education. So I was told that, if I find a high-paying job, marry a good husband, my life is all set. So that's the lie that I've been told all my life. Until in 2011, when I went all the way to my PhD study, then I'm almost graduating, becoming an assistant professor, and was engaged to my current husband. So we thought that, okay, that was all set. However, deep down, I suffer anxiety and depression with a panic attack ER visit in 2011. That's my spiritual wake-up call. Knock, knock. Helen, you're not supposed to do what you're doing right now. So I wasn't happy. And that was kind of my wake-up call to dive really deep in a self-discovery and self-healing journey. And at that time, there were three really deep questions that came out in my soul. Who am I? Why the heck am I here? What's the point? How can I truly be happy and fulfilled? Not according to what other people tell me, but how it's really fulfilled for me. So those are the three questions since 2011 that I always bring on with me. Now, my first, I would say like the first self-healing and discovery journey took me to a yoga studio. At the time I was living in Philadelphia, and they happened to be the oldest yoga studio in Philadelphia at the time. I passing by day in and day out, but I never really go in. But that day I feel like I want to go check it out. So I did not grow up spiritual or religious. So for me, those things are foreign. Although I took some yoga classes in the gym, it's very different than a traditional yoga studio.
Yeah.
And I remember the first time I meditated with a group. It's a group of all strangers, but I'm sure, now I know that they are not. They were my soul family. But at the time, I did not know. I was crying and sobbing like a baby. I just felt something bigger than me, feels like unconditional love was holding me the whole time. Let me put it that way. I felt home. For a long, long time, I felt home. So from then on, I got addicted to meditation, literally. So I was meditating 20 minutes a day. After 3 months of meditation, I was able to take off all the anxiety and depression medication I was on. And I'm like, okay, this is something huge. I want to keep doing this. Until this day, 15 years afterwards, I'm still doing my daily meditation. And what really shifted everything is in 2011, because of my daily meditation practice, I experienced what's called a spontaneous Kundalini awakening. And that's when my third eye began to open. That's when I was able to see the other realm, spirit realm. And I finally knew that at that time, Mother Mary was holding me the whole time when I was meditating. And of course, I did not believe that. If a decade ago you asked me, hey, Helen, do you believe in angels? I wasn't, they don't exist, right? But then after my third eye opened, because once you see it, you cannot unsee it. And from then on, that's when I began to work with the spirit. I channeled a system that gave answers of those soul-searching questions in 2011 that I asked. In 2018, when I had the Kundalini awakening, I got the answer. That's my personal journey. Okay, so now you want to know what's that, right? Okay, so in terms of like who am I, that particular question, I tune in the quantum field, and I know that we are all a bowl of light energy. We are made of light. So at a soul level, who are we? We are light. That's it. That's the answer. We're not this physical body. That ball of light or that soul just, goes on from body to body to body to body until it reaches the white light state. That's why it's called the path of enlightenment, right? It's like, that's why, because you are light. So the path towards enlightenment is literally just make your light stronger and brighter. And second thing, why are we here? Now, although each soul or this bowl of light have different missions, right? However, collectively, we are all here to evolve. That's it. Otherwise, you would not choose a human form. As long as you chose a human form, you're not maintained in the spirit realm. You are here to evolve. Meaning what? Meaning that you need to be that's why I call this is the Helen 5.0, right? Meaning that you need to be the Helen 1.0, you better be the 1.0, better be the 2.0 until you reach enlightenment. That's why you're here in this human body, all right? So how can we truly be happy and fulfilled? That is not faking, not everybody's standard. It's when you make choices or conscious decisions that's in alignment with your soul's evolution path. Because we are all here to evolve, right? Then everyone has an evolution path that we can follow. You need to be in alignment with that. Okay, what does that mean? That means to use your soul gift, because that bowl of light, every light, has a particular gift to be of service to the world so that you can have fulfillment and abundance. Okay, that's just energy exchange. So use this gift to be of service. And the second thing is that bowl of light also carries some wounding that it hasn't resolved from your past lives. Another assignment that you make you happy and fulfilled is to heal that wound. And lastly, this bowl of light also carries some lessons that they haven't resolved from your past lives. And then you are here to learn those lessons. And that's it. Those are the answers. And the secret lies in the aura color wheel.
I love that. Yeah, I would say I came to very similar conclusions, right? Like, who am I? I am a soul that had many, many lifetimes, and in each lifetime learned many, many lessons and had many, many experiences, right? And then some of those experiences were painful enough that I couldn't resolve it in that lifetime. And therefore I had to kind of drag that content over into this lifetime in order to come into peace with it, right? Because it was too much to try to resolve it from the identity that I had in that lifetime. But in this lifetime, it's easier to resolve it, right? So many of my listeners know about my Trail of Tears lifetime and how that was so devastatingly painful. There was no way I was going to resolve that in that lifetime. And so I've had a series of lifetimes working on pieces of that puzzle until finally in this lifetime, I was able to merge with that soul piece and complete that lifetime and then move forward into a new expression. Right. And so I think there's many souls on the planet right now that are involved in that conversation of like recollecting pieces of themselves from places that they got lost, or having those really karmic relationships, like my first marriage, where you're like 20 years with this person, like, why is this so hard? Why is this particular relationship so challenging? Because it seems like it should work out, but then it doesn't. Like you same kinds of conversations in a different relationship will go a completely different way. Why is this one like this? And I don't think either person really knows when you're in that karmic relationship, like why it's like that.
Yeah.
So all these completions, right? And then now, and I think there's tons and tons of completions on the planet right now because we're like stepping into a whole new age. So whether or not you get to it in this lifetime, I think we're all doing our best to get through it in this lifetime so we can have the big moments, right? We all want the big moments in this lifetime. We want to step into the new age in this lifetime because it's so exciting, but we might not make it, so it's okay. Like if we don't, like we have plenty of other lifetimes, incarnations. This could take 10 generations, 7 generations to fully transition. So everyone can take a breath and relax. Because also we don't want to bypass, the good stuff.
That's right. Exactly.
So there's like so much happening around this time. Talk about a little bit about what you see about what I just said.
Yeah, so I resonate that deeply because another truth that when I tune into quantum, time is actually an illusion, especially linear time is an absolute illusion because there are multiple versions of ourselves or our soul exist simultaneously in the current, in the now. And depending on literally your current vibrational frequency is which reality you're going to experience. So I would say that like in terms of like, like, oh, we want to see whatever result. It's not about that. It's about collectively we raise the consciousness and our vibrational level to a point that we can collectively experience that reality that we want to enjoy almost. So I would say that that's my biggest aha moment when I'm able to when my third eye open. It's like time is not linear. It's not like what in the 3D realm said that there is past, present, future. Actually, everything only happening the now, and the now and the particular version of you is currently experiencing is literally is what your soul's vibrational energy, that ball of light, that's vibrating. Now to piggyback off what you were saying about the understanding of who we are, right? That light, that identity, and all of that. What you're talking about is basically healing the soul wound. So they like in terms of like, for example, like how do you access a different reality or timeline jumping? Is literally that vibration has to be a little bit different, and how do you change that difference and get to a better, or we perceive it as a better result? Is because you want to raise the vibe. In order to raise that, you need to have less soul wound rather than more, right? You need to just carry less of it. And it could be coming from a karmic pattern. Could be an ancestral trauma, like an ancestral lineage thing. It's nothing to do with your own soul, but collectively the whole family line has something. Or it could be a past life wound or memory that you have a fragment, a piece of you lived it somewhere else. And once you have all of that, the wounding is not as big or not as deep. So this ball of light will naturally raise its vibrational frequency. Same thing when you're conscious learning a lesson, like that limiting belief that you always looping or whatever, or inner child trauma that you experience this lifetime, things like that. So the less of that, the higher the vibration that you go. And in the oracle color system, I call it you have more soul gift rather than soul wound. Like at this time, you have more soul gift archetypes than the one you just born with. Right now, you have more. And that's when you can actually experience or even peek into a different reality simultaneously happening. So to me, my understanding is this, whatever this new earth or whatever, it's not something that we're looking into in the future because time is not linear. And I think it's actually happening right now, but it's just in a different version of this collective energy. And when you're accessing that, I'm sure there is a different version of you already can peek into that particular reality. That's my personal understanding of what's going on.
Yeah, I think from the lived experience of it, it's kind of like also because that was ancestral. So that was me 7 generations back, also living that experience, and it was a past life. So it was like, it's kind of interesting to have it like ancestral and karmic past. But
Yeah.
it's and then the relationship was all tied up in that whole thing too. So when I noticed that there was like this really long period of dark energy around it for a long time that I didn't understand and couldn't explain. But then like once I started really getting open in my spirituality, what happened is that of course I got some shamanic healing help, and from my teachers and things like that helped me to start like pulling back the layers of it. But then I was able to have a recognition. I was able to, and I actually had a soul retrieval from a Cherokee shaman, so a medicine person, which catalyzed this entire connection piece because he just like found that piece of me lying out there on the Trail of Tears and just like flung it back in through my ancestral portal. So it was like, whoa, that was a catalyst. That took me about 10 years to integrate that. So, it just takes time to come to reconciliation with the lost pieces of ourselves. But then what you're saying is like, for a long time, I couldn't even talk about this without crying, without devastating crying. And so if people are in that spot right now, which I have a sense there's a lot of people kind of in that spot and
Yes.
not knowing even where the grief comes from, it probably comes from something like this. It probably comes from some lost soul piece or some piece of ancestral trauma or something like that that is coming back in to be healed and reconciled. And it took me a good 10 years to like integrate this part back through lots and lots of layers. When I used to talk about it, I used to cry.
Mm-hmm.
Now I can talk about it and I feel joy. I feel lightness. I feel
Mm-hmm.
at peace. I feel like it's resolved, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
inside of me.
Yeah.
And then I think that's the service we can do also to others is to heal ourselves and reclaim ourselves and remember ourselves, because then that elevates our sort of auric frequency, right? And then
Yeah.
that affects our environment, our context.
Yeah, and any soul that you are in contact with, meaning that your ancestral line, your community, your immediate family, and it's like collective. Just like when I was healing my blue aura layer wound, like that's in the throat chakra as a that's also why you so also choose your family, choose where you were born and what time you're born, all of these because of the particular wounding and lesson that you need to incorporate this lifetime in order to get there. And I was born and raised in China as a female because it was a male dominant society. I was suppressed, not able to talk, everything I have to say yes, pretty much like comply, no, no. And all of these, it stemmed from a wound that I wasn't able to speak up. But as say, like when you're talking about like healing yourself, it's not only just your particular soul. And I also know that now being able to, I've already healed it. It took me a long time also to integrate it. Whenever you heal a soul piece, it does take a while, but it's so worth it. Because right now, being able to speak up as an Asian female, like doing what the work I'm doing, I know that it's not only me, it's not only serving my ego, but I'm serving a collective mother wound or female line, in my family, as well as the collective Asian female being able to speak up to their own truth. Now that's like, so don't think that what you're doing on your soul level, it doesn't affect others. It does affect us at a collective level. And at the same time, I personally walk this path. There is no bypassing of me. Sometimes it's just like, shit.
It can be.
But you just have to like be okay. Like give yourself some grace. Just like when you're mentioning if you're in the dark night of the soul, give yourself the grace. But also, I think one key element that really helps is self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
Knowing that you are in the dark is not because so to not let you feel like I'm hopeless or I'm alone or I'm something, like because I was in the dark, it was so uncomfortable. And then later on I have like 5 years and I'm still integrating of healing my ancestral wound with my mom because she's still triggering me till this day, but much lighter than where I was before. Okay, but I'm just saying that this awareness makes me feel like, okay, just I'm working through my wound or I'm working through my lesson. It's not like, yeah, some wounds might cost, yeah, okay, 10 years, but that's okay. I'm just in the middle of this because I'm aware of it. It take me out of that victimhood. Like, why me? Why this? Why that? All of that. And the second is that, I understand when I do this, it's like, now I'm not doing this only for myself. I also doing this for my daughter. I know that also doing this for the ancestral, like both backwards and forward. Like
Yes.
so if you
It's like a ripple in a pond. It's like you put the stone in the pond and it ripples out in all the directions. Yeah.
Exactly. So that's yeah, I resonate with that. And it does take a soul's commitment, but the beginning is self-awareness. If you are in the dark line of soul, not knowing, it's quite hopeless to be honest. If you're not aware, but because like you're describing that particular process the shaman did for you, because you kind of say yes, you have to be open to receive in order for that to happen. It's almost like your soul need to give permission.
Oh, it was like an ache. Like I had this deep ache and longing and hunger inside of me, and I could not fill it like with any food or any activity, or like nothing would fill it. And it was so painful. And I literally, that was the second time I had gone to the Cherokee Village to try to get help. Like I had gone just to the tourist spot because I didn't know where to go. I didn't know how to find a Cherokee shaman. Like, I don't know how you find one. I just knew I needed one, right? And so like when I showed up the second time, I was so devastated. I think he took pity on me and he's like, okay, this person needs some help. And he found it right away and he flung it in there. When I do soul retrievals, I support a little bit more through the process because it is very challenging. But sometimes you do, if you're here for big things and you're here to be a big leader or whatever, a speaker, and I wanted to say, like, you're demonstrating through your speaking, right? Like you are the demonstration, and that is like so healing. When we do that as women, when we're stepping up and we're talking about things that we're hush hush before, or don't speak about that, or we're judged, or we're, woo woo, or dismissed or demeaned, any of that stuff, when we're having even this conversation, we're like bravely standing in this medicine and we're calling it forward, right? Like we are healing this right now. And on behalf of not only ourselves, but like pretty much any suppressed culture over the past, thousands of years, we're doing like basically 1,000-year wrap-up call. I mean, this is, it's a lot. It's quite messy and chaotic.
Yeah, I know. But at the same time, also my angels, Archangel Jophiel especially, always reminds me when things get heavy, when we're in the middle of things, she always reminded me that, well, you also chose to be a human to also enjoy what the 3D realm has to offer. So you should also balance it out a little bit of what, brings you joy. Basically, yes, you're healing. Yes, you're in the path. Yes, it might take a decade, which it took me a decade.
I mean, that's only a decade. Pretty good, right?
Exactly. But also, like, time is an illusion. Remember that your soul is internal. Because the good news is that no matter it's a decade or 2 decades or 3 decades, if you live for 70 years, no matter it's just that whole lifetime, the good news is once you heal this wound, once you integrate this lesson and its integration in you, this soul, at least that aspect of your soul, no longer needing help. At least for that particular piece, you're done. So the next lifetime, you might have new assignments or whatever that is, but at least that shitty karmic contract is not going to appear anymore. Otherwise, this life is a husband, next life is your brother, next life is your father. Oh my gosh.
Oh,
you know what I mean? Exactly. So it's like, so that's why it's worth doing it, you know, because once that particular piece of you is healed, then it's done. It's like, and it's not only done for your particular soul. It's like going to hell with your lineage, the collective, anyone that you basically touch a point later on. So it's like great news. So it's worth, like, I think this work is worth doing for.
Oh yeah, it absolutely is. And I was curious, like, because you mentioned the throat and about being a woman, I think that this is universal, like ubiquitous. Women are really needing to step into their voice and into their power. And I would say also men stepping out of patriarchal roles, learning how to express their emotions. I think for them, it's more about allowing themselves to feel their emotions and allowing themselves to ask for support. But for women, I think it has a lot to do with setting boundaries and being clear and speaking up for themselves, right? And so there's this unique little phenomenon that I've noticed in clients recently about silent reflux in the throat chakra. What comes to you about that? Because to me, that's so interesting. It's like reflux would be like there's acid in the stomach, which means to me kind of like anger, resentment, fiery kind of energies, like down there in the stomach, and then it's silent. So like it's suppression. It's like not getting, like it's not being, of course, my throat now is doing this thing. Isn't that interesting?
Yeah.
It's not being expressed. It's not being like said. It's not being spoken. I think there's so much around like not wanting to hurt people's feelings and not wanting to be ousted from belonging. But like, what comes up for you when you hear that in the throat?
Basically what you're describing, according to the energy work, is like whether your chakra or your aura layer is overreacting or overstimulating, overactive, or kind of dull, like the other way, like inactive, right? We don't want neither. We want kind of the center, you know, balance and whole, right? When it's overactive, what you're describing is the solar plexus chakra, the yellow energy. That's where anger and resentment resides. You know, that's the overactive energy of that. And then the other side of the suppress is kind of like nothing. It's like exactly like silent. Ooh, what's going on, right? So basically when I diagnose or when I tune in someone's aura, yeah, collectively mostly women tend to have throat chakra woundings, right? And then basically your soul aura color composed with two really strong aura layers that makes you a soul gift archetype. For example, you know, you're a healer soul gift archetype, your heart chakra is really strong, you know, really compassionate, and your yellow aura layer solar plexus chakra is also strong because you have strong gut instincts, right? So those makes you a healer archetype. However, we all have a wounding, you know, we all born with a wounding. Though woman or female has more wounding towards the throat chakra, male on the other hand has more of the wounding in the sacral chakra, because that governs your emotions, your inner child, because they are also like you cannot cry, you know, men don't cry, all right? It's just like you cannot express your emotions and all of this stuff. So it's neither of that is healthy, because if you consistently you know, suppressing your wounding for long enough time, what I see is that you manifest 4 different symptoms. It's either physical, you know, like either have thyroid issues, nose bleeding, strep throat, whatever you call it, you know, physical symptoms. For example, my mom has a yellow aura layer, like the extreme form is cancer. You know, she was diagnosed with liver cancer because of anger and resentment in yellow aura layer or solar plexus chakra. You know, that's the extreme form. The second form is emotional, right? It's like your emotions out of whack. You're not stable. Same thing with mental symptoms, right? You know, anxiety, depression, you know, those are the emotional mental symptoms. Or spiritual symptoms, literally psychic attack. You feel like there's some, you know, psychiatric stuff going on, you know, all of that. So now in order to heal, or, you know, like the first thing, if I would say self-awareness, that's why this system is so helpful. You kind of know what's going on. So when I know my mom was suffering the like stage 1 liver cancer last August, I know that exactly, okay, that's just a yellow aura layer or solar plexus chakra imbalance, okay? And then I know that the trigger might be anger and resentment, because that's what the liver, you know, governs in that energy, and that's exactly in your solar plexus chakra. So the second thing is once I, you know, basically tuning her spirit team, I get the message. The one clear download is that she holds anger and resentment to her parents, so my grandparents, right? And that's triggered when I was trying to forgive my mom. That was like the triggering thing, right? Then I tell her that, Mom, you know what? I think the anger and resentment is killing your liver because you're holding a lot towards grandpa and grandma. Maybe it's time for you to forgive them. And she was sobbing immediately. But also as a healer, I'm sure you have a lot of healer audience out there, you cannot interject the karma, because you don't want to have another soul contract with this soul, whatever. All you need to do is to relay the message. It's her free will, her choice, or her decision to make if she wants to forgive and not. Again, in the quantum, there are 2 options happening. One is this body pass because she decided not to forgive, and then do it all over again, have the same parents, so let's do it again. And the other way is literally like she chose to forgive and she can heal from this at a soul level, okay? So, and then I just told her that, and then she need to go through a surgical procedure for early liver cancers. And then we stay in a hotel the night before, because, you know, it's super early, the procedure. The next morning, she bowed down on her knees. I never see her do this because we are not religious or spiritual. I never see this in my whole life. I saw it in my bare eyes. She bowed down on her knees, opened up the blind, and say that universe, God, or source, whatever out there, I forgive my parents. Help me heal. The first time I see her pray in my bare eye, and also the first time I see her light or her aura restore. to the light. It's like the light bulb kind of brighten up. That's exactly what I saw. And guess what? That was last August, and she did the procedure. We won't know immediately, but next December is everything come in cancer free. We did another 2-round subsequent tests, no trace of it. So that's what a soul healing. But I just use it for a physical form. You know, it's easier for people to kind of resonate. Oh, because you see so apparently. But this also happens, can be at a psychiatric level, spiritual level. It can happen at emotional level or as well as mental level. So it's just like this, I would say like, you know, and also that also heal the collective, because I remember at the beginning you were talking about, you know, male and female, what's suppressed, what's overactive, because that doesn't only heal her, it heals me, it heals my daughter. Because the next day, the craziest thing is that my daughter has no idea of what, you know, I was going through about 3 years in human form to forgive my mom. It took me a long time, okay? So that I was in the dark. And then she's healing the physical symptom to forgive her parents, my grandparents. My daughter has no idea what we're doing, what we're battling in the dark. And the next morning, my daughter would give me a note saying that a bunny can be a bunny and you can be you, meaning that I'm free to choose of who I want to be. I don't need to approve of anything, like to prove that I'm worthy, I'm loved, I'm supported. Those are, if I'm born, those are my birthrights. And that's when I know, it's almost the universe sends the confirmation. Hey, by the way, your daughter knows. You did not pass it down to her. She's fine. So I'm just like almost like telling you that on this level, when you work at your soul at this level, whatever happens, the results only good is going to ripple through. So I'm sure like through this, it's not only our family line from the female lineage. I'm sure like collectively that the Asian females also going to feel something. You know, like your energy is going to ripple out there. So that's what I would say. It's kind of like that's my personal journey of doing this thing. You know, when I see an energy that's out of balance, how it looks like, and that's exactly it. So that's why I always want to go back to self-awareness. You know, like you need to be aware of what's going on energetically. Like, you know, what's that missing piece? Like, what's that? And then you can go on to use your spiritual toolbox, whatever. Okay, now it's your yellow aura layer, or now it's your throat chakra. Okay, so here's the holistic toolbox, because everybody is every soul is going to resonate with different healing modality. There are different types of healing modalities out there, right? So, okay, so at least I listed out, you know, all the possible ones. Okay, you can try it out. Because the only way that you know is literally you need to try it. You know, some people like theta healing or you know, psychic surgery. You know, some resonate with that, but some that find that okay, it's too woo. Maybe I would try I know herb first, right? Or sound healing first, or you know, like that particular frequency, or crystal healing, or herbalism. You know, like Chinese traditional medicine. There were different ways, right? So until you kind of each aura layer, you might resonate with a different set of healing modality. And once you know what is out there, once you try it, like hypnotherapy, theta healing, I also do theta healing, past life regression, whatever that is like stick, then you know that next time when I have these similar symptoms, or when I'm healing this particular aura layer, now I have a toolbox to go back to. You know what? Last time I did this and it really helped. So now I know if this aura layer is out of balance this time, I'm going to go to that to retrieve that out. And that's how you kind of need to know yourself enough to almost self-diagnose and self-heal. So I think that would be like an ongoing, it's almost like an ongoing, that's why it's called the evolution path. It's like an ongoing energy balance.
Yeah. And I think it's also, works best, or you get the most effective results if you're applied with it. Like if you actually practice, like you have to have some kind of, like you were mentioning that you've been meditating every day for like over a decade.
15 years.
15 years. Okay. So yeah, I've been opening sacred space for the same amount of time, like every single day without fail. And that's the first thing I give people is open sacred space. It's like your morning prayer. Greet
Yeah.
the day, greet the south, welcome the west, welcome the north, welcome the east, welcome the earth, welcome Father Sky, welcome Great Spirit, welcome help. Like literally ask for help. And if you ask for help, you start your day asking for help. That's a really good thing. If you start your day in meditation, being still and listening for the answers, that's a really good thing, right? So, like giving yourself those daily, even bookends, like something in the morning to kick off your day so that you recognize and you acknowledge once again that there's a curriculum happening, that you need some help. And at the end of the day, some other little ritual to help you wrap up the day and help you to go to sleep at night and get a good night's sleep. Like even that basic bookends is a really healthy way to start. And then if you have a reference, like I'm looking at behind you at the Aura Color Wheel book, right? And so like if you have references like these that you can go to when you're having a challenge come up, then you can, there we go. Then you can look in the reference and you can see, okay, where do I go? What do I want to do next? How do I want to move through this challenge? What is this challenge about? You can pull oracle cards. I mean, there's a million ways to like get into the subject matter of what it is. But you know, it's not going to stop, you know? So I feel like maybe it causes frustration if people are like thinking that there's a mountaintop destination where like the challenges or the lessons stop and that you're frustrated that it's not stopping, right?
Yeah,
like,
it's
what
not
is
a
the
linear
point?
process. The same thing, you know, it's like the time is not linear. The same
Right.
thing with your soul wound, soul lesson, it's not linear. And I will also repeat what Archangel Jophiel said, don't forget also the joy. So it's like it's a circle. It's almost like an upward spiral. Let me put it that way, right? At
Well,
the
I think it goes
beginning,
down too. It goes deeper down into the shadows and then it
yeah,
goes up
it
higher
go up
into the
and
light.
down, but
It
it's a
goes both ways.
spiral.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a spiral. It's not a linear process. Okay, that's the destination, and then we are one and done. It's very different than that. But also during the process, you can also zigzag it a little bit. That's okay too. It doesn't have to be, you know, always according to the plan, because you know that's why you have free will. You know, they also honor, you know, they come help, but they also honor free will. If you want to choose this experience a little bit, you know, go ahead, you know. So then you learn your lesson. Okay, that's not really fitting me, but at least you learn, right? So don't think it's like kind of one and done type of thing. And also on the journey, try to enjoy it. You know, instead of like always thinking like I'm on an uphill battle, right? It's like, okay, life is going to be hard or whatever. It's not like that, right? It's always kind of, I think it's both. It's the yin and the yang. You know, you have one side, you also have the other side. So it's not it's just like you said, you know, the book, and like I like that opening and closing is that what I would call it, I do meditation, I also do prayer. And one prayer that I stick with me for a long time is, you know, the metta meditation. May you be well, may you be happy, may you be free from sufferings. May I be well, may I be free, may I be free from sufferings. You know, like all of these, I do that. Not only, you know, I also do to the people closest to me or all my clients and the people who come in contact with me. Because no matter who you meet this lifetime, come on, you have a soul contract. No matter it's a good one or a bad one, there is something. So in order to do that, you know, like a prayer, it's really going to help, you know, no matter what type of prayer that you begin with your day. That's my prayer. And then at the end of the day, I find this extremely helpful. You know, I still do it till this day. It's literally almost like an energetic shower. And I do take a physical shower at night. I do not take it in the morning because I like to do that to cleanse all the energy that does not belong to me. Especially if you're deeper into this energy work, you actually know what energy is foreign and they're going to attach to you. And I literally call in Archangel Michael to cut anything that does not belong to me. Like anything, like immediately. The faster you cut that, the faster you do it, that this is today and that's what I'm done with, the better you're going to recover from it. So that's why I kind of think it's more like an upward instead of downward, because I'm thinking like, you know, at the beginning, when you first starting doing this wound, it might be really hard, you know, really dark, takes a really long time, but you're going to revisit it. It's not like one and done again, right? But the next time it goes around, it might be a little bit easier, at least maybe 1%.
Yeah, you might catch it quicker. You might like spot it quicker and go, oh, that's the same pattern. And then go, no, I don't want that, and hand it back, because the universe is also asking you, are you going to settle for that same thing?
Yes, that's right.
It's like you said you don't want it, but are you going to settle for that same thing? Or are you going to toss it back? Are you going to take that fish that you pulled out of the ocean? Or are you going to toss it back?
Yeah, that's exactly right.
Like toss it back.
Sovereignty, exactly. That's what sovereignty comes in. That's what you actually, when you did the introduction, I resonated deeply because that's the sovereignty piece. Now, to be honest, like for a soul to be completely fulfilled and happy, what I find, or you are completely on your soul's purpose or on your path, requires really 4 elements. All right. So these are the 4 things I've learned after 15 years of doing this work. First, you need clarity. That's what I mean by the self-awareness. You kind of need to know what's going on.
You have to know yourself in truth. Like, and that's all over the Bible. Know thyself. So like it's in every single tradition. It's everywhere. So start there.
So that's the first piece, clarity, knowing yourself, honestly, and accepting this is how I am, no matter the good or bad. That's okay, right? So at least you know. And the second piece, and I think, let's do that one. Second piece is the soul and spiritual guidance. That's when you man it in the morning, I call in the team for guidance. I give permission to guidance. I connect with my soul. Like for me, meditation is the soul connection. Like I ask my soul for wisdom, right?
Yes.
So it's not something that you're going to, so that way you're not going to push around by society standards, by other people's expectations.
Yeah, because that's noise.
It's really
noise and it's interference.
Exactly. Yeah. That's really connected to the clarity, right? Mm-hmm. And the third piece is really a lot of people get stuck with, and we actually spend most of the time talking, is the sovereignty. Because if you are not completely solvent, no matter emotionally, mentally, or spiritually, you're influencing by any other, soul contracts, people, identity, expectation, whatever, you're not going to choose the most aligned path to yourself, right? So that's why this healing comes in. Why? Because we all of these work that you do is to get rid of all the baggage that you've been carrying along so heavy, and then you finally free. You finally become a kid again, that you can choose whatever the heck you want. There is no more baggage, no more expectations, no more wounding. And that's what that big chunk, a lot of us is doing, basically the sovereignty. And last, you kind of mentioned about it, and also very important, is the action and non-action. So a lot of people learn this knowledge. Okay, it's cool. This framework is cool and all of these. Okay, you're not practicing it. Just like I said, you're not doing it. If you're not doing it, or you're embodying, or integrated in your daily life, it's not going to work. It's just remain knowledge. And that's
it's just like you're making a library, but you're actually not taking the books out to read them. Like, so
that's
you have
exactly
a very
right.
full library, but like you're not doing anything with it.
Exactly.
It's just for show. It's just like a, performance, but it's, you've got to actually, you've got to, and it's chop wood, carry water. That's that chop wood, carry water part. It's like, it's gritty. Some days you don't feel like it. Some days your mind says, I don't want to do this right now. Some days you get impatient. Some days you go, what's the point of this? Some days you feel like a teenager. And you just have to commit to it. Like, even if it's a quick version of it, but you have to at least, like Martin Luther King says, if you can't fly, then run. If you can't run, then walk. If you can't walk, then crawl. But take a step every day. I mean, it's really, really important. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's it. Those are the 4 key pieces. And if you are doing them, if you're aware, you're connecting with your spirit and your team, you are, and your soul, and you are healing, and you are taking action, even it's a crawling or 3-step forward,
crawling, it doesn't matter,
back.
1 step, it's okay. The universe is taking 10,000 steps on your behalf. So
exactly,
you're not
so
alone.
You are on your path.
Yeah, you're on your path. Even if you snored all the way through it, like you did one day of just like snoring through it, or you had the intention to do it. But yeah, gravity is heavy, man. Gravity is
Yep.
definitely heavy, but the more you walk this path, the stronger muscles you get to move through the gravity. So yeah,
That's
keep
right.
going, you guys. What's the point? Experiencing your humanity as a divine being.
Yep.
That's the point, you know?
Yep.
And yeah, like keep walking,
Beautifully
keep
said.
taking the steps.
Yeah.
Awesome. I loved connecting with you. Plus you get great gifts that open up along the path. Like Helen's eyesight opened up. She sees auric fields now. She sees the colors. It's just obvious. She actually, when we first met, she saw my Pleiadian guides like standing behind me. Like, it's like you can see things that you couldn't see before, whether
Yeah.
you have that kind of sight or more like a feeling sense, but it doesn't matter. Like gifts open up, whatever the gifts are, the gifts open up and then you get to share those. So that's also a blessing. And when you get to that part, you're just like so filled up and enriched that you don't really ask that question anymore. What's the point? Because you already know, like, I enjoy what I'm doing. This is really fun. There might be moments
Yeah.
though. I still ask it every so often in honesty. I still go, what is the point of this? But then usually I get a quicker answer. So yeah, thank you so much for all that wisdom. I'm going to put your book in the chat so that people can get your book, and then also check out your podcast, Aura Evolution Podcast. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you want to share before we head out?
Yeah, so the podcast is actually live at 10 a.m. Pacific time every Monday. So if you are catching me live over there, you're welcome to ask me questions directly for what we're talking about. So it will kind of be fun. So all across my social media platforms, and you can get the audio on Tuesday. So if you purchase the book, I'm giving you 3 gifts for anybody purchase any format. Yes, audio included. Yes, digital included. Don't ask me that question because I get asked all the time. No matter what version of the book you get.
Yes, get the book.
Yeah, so you're going to be able to join in a private Facebook group where I host monthly live Q&A and spirit message reading. So that way you get to receive the messages from your spirit guides, as well as ask me questions immediately. Okay, now I'm healing this aura layer wound, what should I do, and things like that. I'm here to help guide you every step of the way. And the second thing is that you're going to receive a feng shui, birth, element, and gua number reading. In that reading, you're going to figure out your natural lucky direction for love, abundance, health, and spiritual growth. And lastly, you get $50 of the Rainbow Aura Meditation Bundle. Because how I get to where I'm at is really thanks to meditation. And I know how solfeggio frequency is such a powerful thing to tune your auric field. That's why I hire a Colombian musician to compose this 49 guided meditation background music to raise the vibrational frequency of all the 7 aura layers. And the bundle is already super cheap with the $50 discount. It's hardly and barely just a little bit of investment. It's going to kind of get you going on a daily habit of meditating. So those are the 3 gifts that comes with the book, so you have a full package. And lastly, I have an upcoming event that's a live event that comes up. It's called Discover Your Soul's Blueprint. Now like if you know more better, right? So you can kind of be more self-aware and get that clarity going. It's on August 28th. And before that, I think right now I'm running this 5-day video series that's free that you can sign up. Every day it's like 15-20 minutes practice that you can clear your 4 energetic blocks basically inside your auric field to find your life to be more in alignment with your soul's path. So yeah, everything I offer is on helencreatesbeauty.com. So you don't need to worry about where do I get this, where do I get that. Everything is there. So you just go to this one website, you get everything. And of course, the quiz is free. You can take a 20-question quiz to identify your soul aura color and receive a result. And you can see if you resonate with this work and go deeper with me.
Oh, excellent. I love it. Yeah, so I will include all those links in the show notes below, and be sure to check them out at helencreatesbeauty.com. And thank you so much for being with us and bringing your beautiful light and your wisdom. I'm so grateful. And
thank you,
I'd
Kerri.
just like to end the show with kisses. Please like, subscribe, share this episode out with anybody that you think would really enjoy this conversation that we had today, who is looking for the answer of what's the point. Give them this episode. Maybe they'll get an idea, an inspiration. And we're going to end with kisses. So here they come, everybody. 1, 2, 3. Here they come. Love you guys. Have a great week. And we'll see you next time on Soul Nectar Show. Bye for now.
If you found even one gold nugget in this episode of Soul Nectar Show, will you do us a favor? Will you subscribe, like, and share this episode? Maybe even write a comment and let us know what you thought about it. We really, really want to engage with you at a much deeper level. Let's be part of community together. Have a great week, everyone. Bye for now.
Soul Nectar Show. Awaken away to the show. Take a sip from the drip of nectar from the source of who you are.